Good morning. We are ready for some lines and angles today. First, I wanted to review something real quick that may help you. And so I'm going to put this up in the journal section. So parallel lines cut by a transversal. How do I know which one's which? One, you've got to learn the angles. Two, this quick chart will tell you, do I add them and set them equal to 180, or do I just set them equal to each other? So on the supplementary side, we'll have same side interior angles, same side exterior angles, and linear pairs. We'll add those and set those equal to 180. On the congruent side, we'll have corresponding angles and set those equal to each other. Alternate exterior and alternate interior angles, set those equal to each other, as well as the vertical angles. So this little quick view will help you know how do I set these up to solve and find a missing variable or angle measure. Okay, also going in the journal section is parallel lines cut by a transversal sheet. So this just gives you an exact location of where the angles are, and it goes through all the angles that we have done. So like for same side exterior, we have the same side on the outside. And so you can have it to look at and learn your angles as well. Okay, so you have some green things today. So we've got our transversal, and we're creating 8 sets of angles. We've been working with parallel. Today we're going to work with non-parallel lines. We've got to understand where exterior and interior is according to the parallel lines. So let's just go ahead and put our little arrows on here to show that those are parallel, so we can see the inside of what, the outside of what. It's the inside of the parallel lines where the two lines are the outside of the parallel lines. And also we have the transversal. So we have the transversal, I'll label it T, and the 8 angles that are created with it when it goes through parallel lines. So we have corresponding angles, and I just set this up for you so that we have another place for definitions. So corresponding angles lie on the same side of the transversal and on the same side of the other 2 lines. Notice it didn't say parallel, so that applies to what we're going to be doing today. Your alternate interior angles lie on the opposite side of your transversal between the other 2 lines, and the alternate exterior lie on the opposite sides of the transversal opposite the other 2 lines. And then we have interior and exterior angles, and I went ahead and put same side interior down there. Another thing that we're going to talk about today is parallel lines. This will be put in your journal. So parallel lines are 2 lines that never intersect. So if we're looking down here, you can barely see where I've got this highlighted in. And if we look at a diagram of this cube, we see we have multiple sets of parallel lines, but I've just highlighted one so we can pull off one picture. Our next one is parallel planes. So this is 2 planes that never intersect. And so I have the top and the bottom highlighted on here. And then we have skew lines. And that's 2 lines that are not parallel, not on the same plane, do not intersect. They have nothing in common. And so I have an example of a skew line. Okay, so we could go down here to our figure and we could identify each of the following. So we're going to identify a few of these. So a plane parallel to ACD. So plane ACD is the top of this. So that would be plane. Remember, plane does not have a symbol. So that'd be plane bottom. So whatever out of the 5 letters on the bottom that you want to use. And so I'm going to use JNM. Okay, all planes intersecting plane EDM. Okay, so that's this side over here. So all planes intersecting, that would be the top, that would be this left side, that would be the front side, that would even be the bottom of this one. A segment parallel to EN. Parallel to that, there's multiples. Check one of the side links or the segments going up from the bottom to the top. So we're going to put DM. Okay, segment skew to CL. Okay, so here's CL right here. CL is right here. Skew to, I'm going to choose AE. So it is skew to. It is not on the same plane. It is not parallel, and they are not going to intersect. Okay, all segments parallel to DM. That would be all your side links going from the bottom to the top. So that would be EN, AJ, BK, and CL. A segment skew to BC. Remember, that's not going to be parallel, not on the same plane, does not intersect. So a segment that is skewed to, and there is no symbol for skew to, you have to write it out. A segment skewed to BC could be EN. We could put that down. Okay, all segments skew to AE. And you can take some time and write those down. A segment parallel to AB through point J. And that would have to be JK. No pun intended. Okay, so we're going to look at the lesson piece for today. So we've got our corresponding angles. You see where I got those definitions, and we've got some pictures of non-parallel lines because that's where we're going to apply these angles today, to non-parallel lines. So on example 10, it says corresponding angles. Give an example of each type of type of angle. So corresponding, they have lie on the same side of the transversal and the same side of the other two lines. Angle 5 and angle 7. I'm just going to put those down there. 5 and 7 corresponding. Okay, alternate exterior angles. Alternate opposite sides of the transversal. So I'm going to do angle 5 and angle 4. They're both on the outside on opposite sides of the transversal. Your angles kind of conglomerate around your transversals. Okay, same side interior. I'm just going to go angle 2, angle 3. Alternate interior. Angle 6 and angle 3. They're on opposite sides of the transversal and on the inside. Okay, so now let's take a look. We are going to identify the transversal, classify each pair. So I have 1 and 2. Remember what I just said, that the angles kind of conglomerate around the transversal. So it says identify the transversal. Well, 1 and 2 are around line N. There's our transversal. N. Okay, and then what are they? They would be same side interior. And some places you will read and see that they call those consecutive interior angles, one right after the other. Okay, angle 2 and 4. You ask yourself, what are they around? 2 and 4 are both around line M. So line M is the transversal, and they seem to be on the outsides of the other two lines. So these are going to be alternate exterior angles. Okay, and 3 and 4. 3 and 4 kind of hanging around line P. So line P is going to be our transversal, and 3 and 4 are going to be in the same spot, so they are corresponding. And as we look at our second page to look at, we have our parallel lines, our perpendicular, and skew, perpendicular, lines that form 90 degrees, and so we'll add that to this. So number 1 says a pair of parallel lines. That would be line G, line H. It would help if I would write right. Line G, line H. Okay, then a pair of skew lines. They are not going to intersect, and so we have line H, and then we have line J. J's just going to go shooting down through that paper. Think about when I poked the pencil through the paper and it did not intersect the other lines on that plane. A pair of perpendicular lines. So we have line G and line J. Okay, last little piece. We are going to identify each of the following. Identify a segment that is parallel to DJ. There are 2 of them. Take your choice. We could have, we can look at this picture and see. I got arrows here, so DJ is parallel to FJ. DG, excuse me. Going to question 5. A segment that is perpendicular to GH, and I'm just going to say HJ. Notice they share a point. That's where that right angle is formed. Number 6, a segment that is skewed to JF. So it's not parallel, it's not on the same plane, it's not going to intersect, and I'm just going to say skewed to is going to be DE. Okay, 1 pair of parallel planes. So we're going to have 2 parallel planes, and we're going to write this as plane such and such is parallel to plane such and such. We're going to put some names to those planes. Okay, I'm going to say plane DEF, which is the front side, is parallel to the back side, which is GHJ. And then we have 1 pair of perpendicular segments not including GH. So I'm going to look for that other box at DE. And DE is perpendicular to, I'm going to use my symbols. DE is perpendicular to EF. And notice they share a common point. Okay, 1 pair of skew segments not including JF. So I'm going to put EH is skew to, no symbols. EH is skewed to GJ. And that is what you need for your assignment today. Y'all have a great day.